I pointed at you then, Jason. I'm not really sure why. I thought
Can't prove it. You can't prove it.
Camera can't see it. That's fine. It's not your job to do the cheesy stuff. That's me. So, Numbani again. Okay, so it was AS who attacked first on this map, and managed to make some decent progress there as well. It was Samsara on the Zarya though. This time, it's going to be All Strike defending first up. So Map's going to be on the McCree here. Arlie on the Tracer, not the Genji. So, okay, they're bringing the Zarya in here. They're bringing the Winston. No Reinhardt for NGA, which is something we sort of said about All Strike.
I want to say, I think this is actually the map that NGA chose because they were the higher seed technically because they beat All Strike before.
Sure.
But All Strike got to choose a side, so they chose to defend first, where previously they attacked first. But we saw Maps in this position take down quite a few people actually from the low grade, which is really hard to do as McCree. But it doesn't matter. In the meantime, the rest of the team has been able to push in. He's still not being touched. Keep that in mind. We pointed this out so many times before, and yet again, we're seeing All Strike send no one against him. Finally, Azar is able to turn around, and there's going to have a Roadhog off to the side, but the fight's already won. NGA are going to take the first point on the first attack.
Yeah, I mean 9139 can try and challenge, but he's going to die straight away. Look at the team comp of All Strike though, right? Your tanks are Roadhog and Reinhardt. You don't have anyone that dives the back line. We're now having a Roadhog and only the McCree. You can't really, you know, pluck anyone out of NGA's team. You can't actually threaten Maps until he actually rolls into you and dies like he did there. So, I mean, you just have to let that happen. You need to challenge Maps out from long range, but he had all the space in the world to work.
That's also why Mei can be powerful, because you can zone off Maps with just your wall alone, kill their front line who dived a little bit too deep. With the Reaper, if you wanted to go that route, which they didn't do this time since Samsara is over on the Zarya. But it doesn't matter. That first one's been taken, and All Strike won't have a chance to redo that one, at least here in this series. But in the meantime, actually contest with the Reinhardt up in front. Range trying to go for the battle out, but look at this Arlie. He goes straight for Rain, and that's the pressure we're not seeing applied to Maps that Arlie is able to do to All Strike.
This is hello, nice little headshot there on towards East after the shield goes in. This is why we don't call Maps an aggressive McCree, Jason. We could see him sitting right back down the end of the street. He always wants to set up for the big get Deadeye. He emphasizes his Deadeye probably more than most McCrees that we see. Guys like Dio want to get aggressive and play the medium range game and get those shots, but Maps always wants to, you know, get himself a lot of space to work here. And look at that. Speaking of space, NGA have oodles of it here. They're going to get this next checkpoint. It's probably not even really going to be contested unless there's a rush. So we saw the Reinhardt try and charge down there, but East hits himself into the wall. He does manage to contest here, but it's trickles. And look at Maps. Again, finds himself a good vantage point to rain down from above.
They need a Genji. They need something to deal with this, man. I'm done talking about it because we've mentioned it in both the series that we've seen these two teams play, and there just doesn't seem to ever be a change. So maybe we should look at maybe what All Strike needs to do to the front line while ignoring him. Maybe it may. We talked about, you know, just a second ago, maybe kind of wall him off, maybe put him in position where he can't really attack you, and kind of use that to your advantage. A Reaper, like, why not go for a Reaper when they're sending a Winston into your back line? Like, that would be a perfect pickup.
A Junkrat? Okay, alright. Rain switch back to the Zarya. Now Samsara onto the Reaper here. I don't think it solves their problems. I don't know why we're going to see Junkrat at all. That's kind of weird. Anyway, let's see how it works out. It's going to be a sound barrier for NGA here, and Map's actually going to try and pressure out here. Whoa, the shot comes in. It was the decay of the sound barrier just at the right time for 9139 to pick that kill off there. But is Maps' demise going to be enough to break NGA here? It might well be. With the emphasis they put on him, it stands to reason. But 9139 now, Whole Hog comes out. Transcendence is there for NGA, but frustratingly, Little Cat getting pushed around there, because even though you're in Transcendence form and can't be killed or damaged, you can still be moved around the map as Zenyatta.
It's the combo coming up. It's a Grafton Surge into the Deadeye. They need to keep East with the shield available. That's going to be the final nail in the coffin of the shield. They have enough health in the shield to actually maintain this push as the high note's still being charged up, but everyone's been able to back away in time. You can see exactly that man going towards the right-hand side. It's going to be Youngbond who gets taken down as he's playing Ana, and they've completed the map in the meantime with 4 minutes and 36 seconds left.
That is very fast. That is very fast given what we've seen from teams so far today. All Strike, the only time they put up a fight is on that first point where they have to, and right towards the end of the map there. We saw that All Strike trying to go for a bit of a change up there as well. Saw Samsara going for the Reaper. We saw the switch away. The Zarya sort of changed hands, I believe, but nothing. It's toothless. AS are completely lacking any bite to back their bark up on that map. The first point hold, I mean, McCree right now in the Western meta at least is maybe not emphasized so much because he's vulnerable, because he can be picked off easily, because he needs to be babysat. When you're NGA and you don't have to babysit your McCree because he has safe positioning and he's not contested or aggressed on by enemy divers, that's just the dream.
I think a big problem with All Strike there was the fact that they didn't ever force a fight themselves. They were the ones getting aggressed on. They were the ones always kind of adapting and being forced to react to what was thrown at them. They weren't the ones to actually choose when they wanted to fight. They tried to test the second point, and well, we saw how that went.
Did they have a Lucio? Or was it the Mei and Zenyatta? Oh, was it Ana Zenyatta?
No Mei.
Ana Zenyatta.
I actually don't remember. I want to say it was a Lucio, but
because
there's a good chance we didn't have one.
I mean, I need to go back and have a look at that as well. Because
I don't think we had an Ana. I don't think they had an Ana. I never saw an Ana boost.
might be right here. I mean, if there was a Lucio, that's fair enough. But I mean, you know, AS then even having the capacity to start fights and not doing it, it's a bit rough. To be fair, they never were set up. They never had time to set up. And that's what happens. If you get snowballed out on this map, it gets worse and worse. It's a problem that compounds upon itself, Jason, because you're constantly just trying to get to the point. You saw how desperate that, like, All-Strike were to try and stop that second checkpoint coming up there. The fact that I think they managed to at least get the Reinhardt in position, but he got picked off because, well, Maps was already up on high on top of a pillar. So, I mean, All-Strike need to finish the match, but they really need to think about this first point. They need to not get full held here. It didn't happen last time, but it wasn't long before they were ground to a halt by NGA, and especially by Maps, and we talk about it a lot. It's maybe a topic that we want to sort of try and walk away from now. I think we've established it quite well. But are really going to be on the Genji here on defense?
Okay, so this is what you need to look for here, I think, if you're All-Strike. 9139 needs to hit a hook on the Maps. Going through main, get a hook onto this man, and then you have a pretty easy fight, actually, once you take him down. All you have to worry about is RLE, which we should ideally have a couple of people will be able to sit on top of him. Usually, I don't know, this is a weird engage, actually. They kind of push up and they get afraid by one Winston.
Yeah, RLE got hooked in, by the way. He just reflected all the shots that came in after, so he eventually dies. But Maps gets himself 2 kills. He's across on the other side. This is just exactly what you want. I think Maps was really the one that 9139 wanted to hook in there, but either RLE blocked a shot or got in the way or something like that. And Maps has had what are you flashing, bro? I mean, Maps has had a lot of freedom there just to sit here. Yeah, exactly. And get damage done. He cut down All-Strike on his own. And you've got a McCree and his Zenyatta both sat in this position. That's a lot of damage available to you, especially from long range.
Especially if you're calling off those Discord auras, but this shield's going to apply pressure and... What? Maps actually escapes it by dropping across the bridge, using the environment to actually block the shot, and he's still alive to fight.
That's really nice there as well. And Rain is trying to deal with Maps, but while he's getting aggressed onto by the enemy side, Shadowcat just pushing forward there with a Tesla cannon. Maps was free to pick off East from the other side now. And look at this, RLE coming in from the backside, taking so much attention away from the actual point itself. Yes, he dies, and he's going to die. And there might have been a slight overextension from NGA, but look at this, a Graviton Surge being forced out here. Crazy stuff. All-Strike are struggling to even make any sort of progress here. And Matt actually now just wants to cut down. He needs to get this kill. This is a bit risky. He drops down. He's helped out there by Little Cat to get the kill. But now the positioning not so safe for this McCree. Actually,
I really like the Graviton Surge because there was an overcommitment by NGA, so they could pick up 2 clean kills right after that. Yeah, exactly. Nobody's going to get caught up by this. That's a support now down, and Maps is still looking to hammer away. And even with the man disadvantage, they're fighting this one back. There was a right-hook shield to block that Deadeye from coming through. I'm not sure why you got picked off.
Well, pressing forward again now. Maps getting a little bit aggressive here, and NGA almost overextended beforehand, but look at this guy, getting so much down on this McCree. And look at All-Strike's composition, by the way, Jason. It's Ana and it's Zenyatta. They lack a Lucio, so they lack a speed boost, they lack the shock and awe factor to engage a fight quickly off the back, and you can see they're always getting stuck in the doorway. So, I mean, this is where they get stuck, constantly. Hook goes in, that's an overextension by Fury, to be honest. He sort of peeks out for a little bit too long, and that's a good start. All-Strike can snowball this one out, but they've got a minute and 35 left to capture this point.
Yeah, they actually need to contest the point to allow Fury to come back in with a Graviton Surge, just completely turn the tide to the fight. But Rain, he has his Deadeye available, just hasn't gone for it just yet. Like you said, they've actually split. They've dropped down towards the low ground. The shield's going to block the Deadeye this time. He's going to get slept, so now Maps is out of the fight for a little bit of time. But you can see he's trying to get the channel onto him, and Maps will fall. He gets the kill.
Yeah, Maps is going to go down him. He was sleeping. The Deadeye from Rain was used just to get that 1 kill. It's like a sitting duck target. But in the meantime, Little Cat was still on the other side. He gets 2 kills. RLE jumps forward. He gets on towards, what was it, 115-20. God, the numbers are insane. I don't know why you do that. Why call yourself a number? You're more than a number. You're a real person. You're a human being. You have a name. Anyway, RLE pushing forward. He's got himself a Dragon Blade here, but NJ looking very comfortable here. With the ults they got to work with, that's going to be pretty scary with the Graviton coming out.
Not to mention only 50 seconds remain left on the clock here, and the Dragon Blade Graviton, like you just mentioned, is pretty much enough to wipe the entirety of All-Strike unless somehow they get a good nano boost in, if they can get Samstar in a good position, if they get a good whole hog off. But look at Fury off to the side, gonna pop the Graviton onto the entire enemy team. RLE's gonna come in, he gets hooked in actually, so he misses a lot of damage, but gets a good reflect off. But I don't know if it's gonna be enough actually, because they've lost 3 men already.
Whole hog coming out here from 9139 here, quite important. Maps gets him being tested. Okay, this is a tough one to run away from. Hit more headshots, son. No, the Fire Strike gonna pick up Maps there, and even the spray there just for good measure. All-Strike looked like they had decent control of this point now, and yeah, should ideally take it, but it's taken everything they've got. Yeah, they had 15 seconds left on the map. Now they have to get a bit further, but 2 minutes 40 to contest this street space, and in my opinion, this is one of the strongest parts of the map here for NGA. They push up aggressively. They will push All-Strike back into their spawn here and not allow them to round the corner.
Yeah, they did this last time, actually, holding this position perfectly. This is where we saw Maps really start to excel when we saw people diving for him. But look at All-Strike. They're actually not going for that kind of route. They're just kind of trying to fight into the front. I think this is what we wanted to see out of All-Strike if they weren't going to send anyone to dive into him. Just kind of fight behind a Reinhardt shield and just grind through the enemy team. So Maps won't have any pressure on him. It's just about whether or not he can hit these shots.
Yeah, they can engage here. They got the Lucio to go in, and Maps as well. Safe positioning, sitting right back. And you see East has to come forward. Great boot. It was an excellent knock by Hysteria, but still Maps wasn't able to connect. But you got to love a Lucio that has a presence of mind to move the enemy Reinhardt around the map and manipulate him. Great stuff there. Maps comes in, span the hammer time, and what we've seen this before. Jason Samsara's head get plucked off like an apple. He's on the Zai this game, and well, back to spawn it is.
His Maps actually dead out in that fight, and he's back up to 70% ultimate already. Why can't you play like this when we do a Q?
I suck at McCreary. I'm just bad at the game, to be honest.
But you do see
my
Maps,
mojo's lost.
Yeah, we'll get it back one day. Austin Powers style. But look at Maps. He's actually on the high ground now. So who's going to jump into him? No one. So as long as the hook is on cooldown, he's not going to have any threat at all. So once the shield falls, it's going to be clean pickings for him.
Look at Rain. I mean, he's getting a lot of healing right now, but he's desperately just trying to stay alive. A lot of shots are coming in from Little Cat there as well, up on that Zenyatta. Earthshatter comes in here. It's going to be a Transcendence for NGA just to back this fight off of. Maps, look at him, always safe positioning. He's like a cat. He likes to be up high. He likes to see what's going on there and just survey the action. RLE with the help of Maps gets himself 2 kills, and with Rain and 9139 going down, that's your damage core of All Strike missing. They lack, I guess, the punch to finish off this fight. Graviton Surge comes in. This might just be enough here. Samsara gets himself 2 kills, going for the hero play, but he's going very, very low. He's eventually cut down by Fury. He pushes back, and the Graviton maybe could have been saved for when All Strike had a full team to follow up.
Well, they're going to have better reinforcements, at least in terms of how quickly they get back. So NJ is going to have to actually give up a lot of this ground. So they're going to be able to push the payload a little bit further, but there's only 45 seconds left to go on the clock here. Fury, the Graviton Surge and a clean wipe with RLE getting some resets could actually pretty much end this entire first map.
Oh, does Fury go around back behind? That would be interesting. Yeah, he goes for the backline, gets the Graviton Surge in. A lot of people caught for it. Fury's looking for something else. He actually gets hooked in. Yeah, I think he was actually trying to look for Yongban in the backline, and he's found him. Now will he be able to burst him down? Not quite then. He gets cut short just before he picks that one up. RLE manages to at least finish off the Anane. You can see the focus is real for NGA. They know who they want to go for, but in doing so, they've let Samsara get himself 4 or 5 kills over the entire fight here, and All Strike wipe the sweat from their brow as now they have the home stretch ahead of them.
And only a minute 40 to do it. I think that's why NGA was more than happy to go for an engagement there, because you're still buying a lot of time, and you still have 4.5 minutes to go if you do go to the second round of attacking. And RLE now, the Dragon Blade coming up soon. Maps. This man's going to be sneaky. You can see Rain just waiting for anyone to push up towards his position. He's got his Deadeye available. He's got the Reinhardt shield to sit behind, but he's going to have to let it recharge for a little bit more time.
He's trying to use the health back as well to bait some aggression from flankers. You know, like if a flanker goes through his team, they're going to try and maybe push through to the health back and come back. But Rain, Samsara is playing really well, by the way, on this side. He's setting up a lot of these kill situations by being the proactive man in the front line and also managing his energy very well. That's why he's able to get those kills so easily. RLE, gonna have to wait for the... Actually, might even change here. He might go to a... No, the Dragon Blade's up, so he just wants a bit more health in the spawn. So that's going to come out now. Graviton surging. Little Cat is going to be using that Transcendence, and RLE's found Rain to start with. That's a good way to slow things down here a little bit for All Strike. Now into the back line. He's looking for the Lucio, but gets taken down by East. The hammer swinging yet again. East has been good at dealing with flankers so far in this game. Good peel, and All Strike now trying to progress forward. It was an attempted boop off the payload there for Hysteria, but it doesn't quite have the intended effect. However, he's being very slippery. He's staying alive, and that's exactly what NGA need to do right now. Fury's going to come in with the Graviton Surge of his own. That shield's pretty low now, and you can see the Winston up behind him as well. A lot of damage being done there as well. Shadowcat getting involved, so Sara kills himself somehow, and 115-20 will drop. Fury is still alive, and Maps, well, ever let him get set up, if you ever give him safe positioning to work from, he will shred an opponent team.
I don't understand how you get the Earthshatter off, but you don't focus anyone down. You don't kill anyone. Even as East alone, he should have been able to kill Fury, and like you said, 10 seconds left to go. They're going to kill Youngbot. He's going to have no chance to touch the payload. I don't think anyone's even close enough. They don't have the Tracer to turn things around, and NGA, that's map 1 in the books.
That's it. NGA, well, All Strike get a little bit further than last time, but still not far enough. NGA, way better on the attacking side here, breezing through very comfortably. And do you think our reservations from the last time these two teams went head-to-head are still valid? Do you still think that we are having some issues here with how All Strike are responding to what NGA are pulling out?
Their response was to do nothing to Maps, which...
That's what they did beforehand.
No, not true. They did set, they set 9139. Yeah, they set 9139 to distract him, but he wasn't able to do anything by himself. I think this is just a big hindrance in map pool. I think this is a very big hindrance on this, because you need to be able to play successful Genji in this situation. You know, you saw him on the defending side, even the attacking side, he wasn't touched. He wasn't touched at all. And when we saw NGA go with the plan of, hey, let's kill Youngbot, you saw Fury go